Hello and welcome to our next lesson. Today we are going to be looking at the concept of Scanf, and we are going to do that through an example, how we can get two values from the keyboard, do the summation, as well as display the results. Just a small recap. We said that a Scanf is a function that allows a user to enter the values from the keyboard, and the printf is a statement that allows a user to display the information onto the screen. And we said that the same way we normally have a scanner that allows us to convert a hard copy into a soft copy that gets into our computer, whenever we want any input from a user via the keyboard, then we have to use the scanf function. But I have done a video on the same. You can watch it. So let's look at the following program that is supposed to prompt the user to enter two numbers from the keyboard, compute the results, and display the results equivalently. So a user is going to get such a statement on the screen: enter the first number. The user is going to enter the number 5. The user is equally going to be prompted to enter the second number. The user is going to enter a number like 9. And then some computation is going to happen, and the result is going to display that addition of 5 and 9 is 14. So let's go through the program. So the first line here is what we refer to as variable declaration. So we have declared 3 variables that are of type int, implying that only whole numbers can be keyed in from the keyboard. The second statement here is what we refer to as a printf, which simply means that the statement within the double quotes will be displayed on the computer screen as they are. So in this given case is enter the first number. So that's what you are seeing here, enter the first number. Then you have a scanf statement, and this particular statement is now what is responsible for capturing the number that has been input by a user from the keyboard. Remember, we said that a scanf has two parts, the conversion specifier as well as the address section. So the conversion specifier implies that a user is supposed to enter an integer. %d means it's an integer that should be entered from the keyboard. The AND, it's indicating the address. Where do we want to store this particular value? We would want to store it in this variable location, which is number 1. So the AND is going to give us the address, and then the number 1, of course, is our variable name where the value needs to be stored. So we have stored the first value, for instance, maybe a value like 5. We repeat the same statement, enter second number. That's what we are going to say here. Enter the second number. And then we equally have a scanf. The scanf is equally having two parts, the conversion specifier and the address part. So the second number is equally an integer, and we also specify the AND. So remember, every time you use a scanf, you must use the AND operator. The AND operator tells us the address. Where is that variable name located? So if you miss out that, you'll never be in a position to store a value. So we equally specify the address, where is it, and we specify the variable name. And then that number can now be stored into that particular variable name. In this case is a number like 9. Having stored the two numbers, the next thing that we need to do is add the two numbers. So in our number 1, we had stored the first number, for example, 5. Our number 2 has stored the second number, for instance, in this case, is a 9. So it will be a 5, and we are adding a 9. The results of this, which is 14, is what is going to be assigned to the variable name called sum. After that, we only need to output. Remember, we said that when you are outputting a value that is stored in a variable, you equally have to specify the conversion specifier so that your compiler is in a position to know the kind of value that it's supposed to output onto the screen. So we are having a \n. That means that we want to put a line just before this statement, addition of. And then we are going to display the statement addition of. Then we see a %d. So this %d is responsible for the first variable name. So the first variable name is what is going to be substituted at the first conversion specifier. The second conversion specifier is responsible for the second variable name, and then the third one is responsible for the third variable name. So in this given case, it's going to say addition of. So when you're having %d, it's going to pick the variable name. So in this given case, it's going to pick the 5, which is the number that has been stored in number 1. And %d, the second one, is going to pick the value that has been stored in number 2. And then say is, it's going to pick the value that has been stored in the variable sum. And in this given case is 14. And the program ends at that. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.